The relationship between an MMA fighter and their coach is very special, but sometimes it becomes too special. Hence, grooming in MMA. Aspen Ladd originally started training when she was 14, but she changed gyms from underground MMA in Sutter Creek, California to MMA Gold in Citrus Heights, California when she was 18. So you're telling me that Aspen Ladd added an extra hour to her commute just so she could go to a different MMA gym. That may be a little bit believable, but mere months after she gets there, she falls in love with a man who is 36. Whether or not they knew each other before she was 18 is still up in the air, but he was twice her age at 36 when he met her, so we can at least say that it was a little bit weird. Sean Strickland called him out on it, and Jim West immediately went on the defensive. That's always kind of weird to me. Hey, hold on now. I waited till she was 18. Really? No inclination, no romantic feelings, no crossing paths at tournaments? I think that even if you wait till they're 18, you're still planting those seeds of a relationship and interacting with a person that later on you're going to have a very interconnected business and personal relationship with. On the other hand, Movsar Evloev straight up married a 17-year-old when he was 23. No beating around the bush, no walking on eggshells. He talked with Sneeko of all people. They were hanging out in a sauna. I don't know if Movsar was cutting weight or he was just having a good time getting his sweat on. And he advised him to date younger women because, they're easier to mold. That's literally grooming. That's the definition of grooming. Again, 17 to 23 in a somewhat arranged marriage. Weird, yes. Creepy, yes. But maybe I don't hate it as much. Like a 17-year-old getting married to a 23-year-old is illegal, but an 18-year-old dating a 36-year-old is somehow perfectly fine. If there's any sort of hierarchy to this, 6 years difference seems a little bit better than twice her age. But the cultural element makes it a little bit more understandable. Not palatable, but understandable. Pat Barry's culture is being a moron. That's why he is the biggest and most well-known example of grooming inside the UFC. The story is just so inconsistent, so here's the facts. Rose Namajunas was born in 1992. In a December 2014 interview, Pat says that they've been dating for 5 years, and Rose says it's more like 2 or 3. 2 or 3 years back means that Rose was 19 or 20. 5 years back puts us at 17. Pat Barry himself, multiple interviews, multiple quotes of him saying this. He says that he fell in love with her the moment he first saw her. According to Matt Mitrione, he and Rose had a conversation talking about how when Rose turned 18 the next day, she was going to ask Pat out on a date. Based on the numbers available, Pat Barry at the time would have been 31. They, at the very least, knew each other since she was 16, 17. And based on Matt Mitrione's retelling of the story, Rose was enamored by Pat. According to him, she already knew that she wanted him to be a fixture in her life. Matt Mitrione is saying all of this, and despite being very pro-Pat Barry, he is not helping his case. And that's the textbook example of grooming. The dating part doesn't need to happen when they're underage. They just need to be in contact and have some sort of rapport. It can get even crazier though. Like, what if you've known someone since you were 9? Valentina and Antonina Shevchenko both started training with Pavel Fedotov when they were 5 and 9 respectively. Yikes. Pavel isn't married to Antonina. They do have a kid together though, and they are allegedly dating. They're not putting labels on it. That's weird, but it gets weirder. Shevchenko has been in the public eye for, give or take, 15 years, maybe up to 20 if you want to get crazy, and she has never had a boyfriend or even a whiff of a date night or anything. So if we want to get real conspiratorial, we could have a sister wives scenario kind of going on here. They all travel together and never really stay in one place too long. Really makes you think, and that could be because they like getting different looks from different styles, and they have a revolving door of sparring partners, or because they're giving everybody the heebie-jeebies and wearing out their welcome. Speaking of wearing out your welcome, segue. While making this video, I was considering whether or not to put in this specific relationship. You know, I'm just gonna count it. Diego Sanchez, at the time he met Joshua Fabia, was in a very rough spot. Shortly after his divorce, exiting his fighting prime very rapidly, having trouble putting 2 wins together, and Fabia, while having a significant amount of power over him, as his coach and guru, had, over the course of 6 years, kind of groomed him and made himself a fixture in Diego's life, and then took advantage of him, eventually becoming his pseudo-boyfriend. I'm not going to tell you exactly what that entails. I'll let your imagination run wild. Again, I understand that he's not a minor. He's a grown man, right? He can make his own decisions. But he was also a grown man in an extremely vulnerable state, whose trust allowed him to be taken advantage of over a very long period of time. Now that we're nearing the end of the video, you may be thinking, hey man, grooming is no laughing matter. You made at least 10 jokes back there. These situations are at a point where no one can really do anything. And you look back at some of them, and what's done is done. All of the women and men are now in their 30s or 40s. Sorry, Aspen lad is 29. I just know someone was going to get on my ass for that one. Crisis averted. But with all that being said, Movsar Evloev's wife probably doesn't even have internet. Lucky if she has running water. Aspen lad's too busy cheating on her diet to be on YouTube right now. And the Shevchenkos live out of a trailer and move around more than gypsies with a rash. Big shout out to Hello NPC for becoming a vampiric enjoyer. You too can get your name read out at the ends of videos or just featured here like these other fine people. I can't say their name because they didn't pay the full price. Them's the rules. Like, comment, and subscribe for more MMA content and become a member for even more perks. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't get in that van and have a good time. How am I gonna start this video? Grooming, America's pastime. That's not it.